Welcome back to Scott's Reviews. Today we're talking about Sony ZVE-1 and the DJI Pocket 3. That's the main focus, but we're also going to look at the GoPro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So let's watch the footage and we'll come back and talk. Welcome back to the channel. We are looking at the ZVE1 on the Crane M3 gimbal. Plus, the reason why we're doing this video is because of this guy, DJI Pocket 3. Everybody has made videos about this. I've been using it for a little while, trying to get a better grasp of what video I should come out with, because they've all been done. The best settings, the most cinematic, the unboxing, and I'll show you some of all that great stuff too. But let's just look at the ZVE1 and the Crane M3. Well, it should really do a lot better than the Pocket 3. The look, the colors. Now I have no ND filter on right now. My lens looks a little bit dirty. Anyway, but I got the box on the eye. I have no picture profile going on with this thing. My phone's ringing, of course. Alright, it's HLG 4K 60. So I do have, looks a little bit dark on my face. Maybe if I lighten it up. I don't have the microphone on. This is just the microphones that are on the camera itself. A lot of background noise. There's a bridge over there with traffic. It's kind of echoes around with the water. So. But if you wanted to get the ambient noise behind you with this kind of atmosphere, you would leave it like this. What's the main difference between these two? I mean, I sat in the car for at least 6 minutes trying to get this thing balanced correctly. Yes, you can get a really good image from the Pocket 3, but still, I think with a setup like this, you're going to get the best and cleanest look that you're going to like. But it takes a lot of work, and you don't always want to have that, right? You don't want to always bring this. Let me show you what it looks like. All right, see, that's your setup. It's big, so you can see better in the light. Now this arm is so hurting, and this arm is not hurting at all. Face lock is on the DJI, and the eyeball is locked in for Sony. So I can see just from the colors, or more from the background, that the full frame is going to be more blurred out, more separation kind of deal. So it's, yeah, it's a big difference. But man, look at the difference in setup up there. I mean, again, so strong, so easy over here. But I would not like to have this on vacation or walking around, because this does get really heavy really fast. But man, what a beautiful image it produces, right? We're gonna head back to the car, head back to the house. I want to take my time and not put a review out right away, and really kind of use the camera and make sure I wasn't messing things up on my own by using it incorrectly. But I mean, for a 1-inch sensor and a pocket size thing, we'll see when we get back and take a look and say, is this that much better? Is this that much better than the Pocket 3 that, yes, man, it's worth $2,000 for this camera, and another couple of $100 for the gimbal setup, and then the microphone that's on top of the thing. Is it all worth it? So, if I hadn't told you, the cameras that I sold recently, kind of to pay for this, is the RX0 Mark II, which had a 1-inch sensor, but didn't have continuous focus, and the stabilization was pretty poor. I did love the photos from the deal, like in water and stuff, but it was a very expensive camera to have just for that. I sold my Action 2, and then I sold the Insta360 X3, just because I'd rather use my GoPro Hero 12 I just got with the Max Lens mod than have to do all the post stuff afterwards with the Insta. I'm sure I'll buy another one down the road, but I was done with it for right now. Wear your life jacket. Actually, really is important. They're setting up for the Christmas lights out here at Sandy Point State Park. If you have young kids and you live in the Maryland area, put their pajamas on at night, roll them out here. It's a fun show. Yeah, all right, back to the car. So the question I've been asking myself with this little guy is, do I keep this and get rid of the ZV-E1 and this big gimbal and just use this little guy for motion shots like this where you want to get creative on your video? Or both is needed? Do I still need both of these? The casual shooting on the go in your pocket, always there to get smooth walking footage like this, cinematic style footage, or do I just need to use the big one the whole time? Will the Pocket 3 make me lazy in my filmmaking? Will it just be like, hey, you know what, just grab the Pocket, it's a lot easier, right? Just grab it and go, put it in your pocket, go out, get your footage. But then you start losing your creativity. You start just half-assing everything and not really putting your heart and soul into what you're trying to do. I can save a lot of money by selling the ZVE1, selling the big gimbal. It really depends on what you're doing with it, how you use it. But it's just a thought. With the iPhone 15 Pro Max in my pocket, always there with me. Is there a reason to buy any of these other cameras? Is there really? The stabilization on the thing is magical for a camera. Sorry, for an iPhone. For a phone, completely, to have all this power in your pocket is absolutely crazy in 2023. So, why do we have these big cameras? Just use our new iPhones or your new Samsungs, whatever it is, the latest and greatest. It's pretty darn good. So, now this is eating up my memory like crazy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop, and turn on the regular camera. Okay, this is 4K 60. This is not ProRes. I did it on ProRes low because I don't have an external hard drive attached to my phone right now. I could do that. I have some at home, like an SSD drive. I could set up, take some rubber band, strap it to the back of the camera, strap it to the back of the phone, and you can record all day long on an external, which makes it really easy to go from your phone to your desktop or your laptop and start editing your video, because all your footage is on that hard drive. So the only hard part about a phone right now is just holding it. It feels weird holding it as a filming device, but that's something that I'm not used to, but the generation that's here now is totally used to. And I do have to say one thing. So, a little story. I took my kids to the beach this past summer. They got dressed up, went out at golden hour, and I had my big camera, lighting, all the 9 yards to take great photos of them on the beach. They were not that thrilled to be taking photos. Like, it was strange. They're sitting here all day long with their phones, snapping thousands of shots, smiling, doing this, posing with their friends. But when I bring the big camera out, they got nervous, felt awkward, didn't like it, and didn't really care about the images that I got. I showed them what I had later on. They thought it was good, but they don't mind their photos on their phone at all. And they actually prefer using their phone. So camera companies are going to have a hard time with this new generation, getting them to go off their phone and onto a dedicated camera, especially when phones like this are making video like this today. Well, I couldn't not give this guy a try. This is the GoPro Hero 12 with the max lens mod on 4K 24. And I wanted to give this one a shot to see what it looks like doing a walk and talking, how easy it is. And is the ZVE-1 so much worth it over this? It does have the media mod on. I have it in flat, so I'll color grade it. But it does have the media mod on and front audio selected. So it's getting a little bit better audio than the standard GoPro, but the GoPro has pretty good audio from out of the box in that little package. So, but is this footage good enough for this type of stuff? So if you're still here, I appreciate you sticking around for this long. Like, subscribe down below, all that fun jazz. But this was a video more for me to make, I think, than anybody else. If it helps you out, great. But I was trying to figure out from these cameras, which one does the best at walking, talking, image quality? Or which one's the best overall? How much better is the ZVE1? What did you think? So let me give you my kind of thoughts after watching the video, editing the video, playing with the colors, all that jazz when you do after the fact. You learn a lot more when you go back and look at the footage and you edit it and you color grade it and you play with it and you figure out what it can do, what it can't do, what it recover, what it can't recover, all that fun stuff. How much better is the ZVE1? I'd say on stuff like vlogging, where your face is in the shot, you see a big difference. The difference is that full sensor look on the skin of the face. It's not as sharp looking or contrasty. You see less blemishes when it comes to the full frame look, I believe, for me, because this is not perfect, as you see, no way near perfect. Too much sun as a kid. I do love the look of the full frame sensor. Unless I'm doing a professional paid shot, I don't think I will put these two together and just walk around and play with it as a vacation stuff. It's just too much. For me, it's too much to get it balanced right. I had a problem with the roll. You kind of saw some tilt in the footage a little bit. I had a problem with the roll axis on this one. I would use the dynamic stabilization on this guy and help hold it out like this. Maybe with a small tripod to make it a little bit easier, but that's how I would do it with this camera right here. Now when it comes to landscape shots with this camera, this is when stuff like this falls into like pretty close. I don't know what's better. When I did landscape stuff, the iPhone, the highlights were kind of a little weird on me. So, but the highlights on the DJI Pocket 3, the sky looking was really nice. The GoPro, hit or miss of what you get. Extremely stable, good quality footage when it comes to that, but it is a GoPro. So the image quality on a walk and talk is just meh. You get what you get. It's not bad. It's nothing to throw away. Again, the stabilization is what really sets this one apart as good quality style footage for that kind of stuff. But you know what a GoPro is made for? It's made for action footage, slow motion, getting wet, going underwater, all that stuff. It has a purpose, it has a need, and as of right now, an action camera like this can't be replaced by a phone yet. So what about the iPhone? These two are close. The highlights are not as good as this one as they are in this one. The bigger sensor kind of pulls through on this shot. But, I mean, the difference between these two when it comes to walking, talking face shots, it's not that much. I mean, this does magic sometimes. If you're really skilled, you can really work with the ProRes on here to make it work. Now, the argument back in the day was, I talked about a little bit in the video, using this as a content and then using the footage later on in like Final Cut Pro or Premiere. It was hard to get it off of here. Now it's not anymore. You can go right to an external, or what I think I'm going to start doing is record on internal and then after the fact plug a SSD or a small thumb drive, flash drive in here, dump all the footage onto the drive, pull it off, delete it off of here to get it off my phone, and then use that like an SD card or whatever back to my computer. That's how I would manage content from the iPhone. Do I have any final thoughts? The image quality on here is still better than the Pocket 3. Landscape stuff is really, really good on this. Stable footage on the go is really good. Its convenience factor is all this basically is. How quality of image do I need to have versus the easeability to get the shot? So where does that leave me? Because there are times when you want all of them. I still think, for me and my age, it's hard for me to put everything on the phone and use that as my creative tool. This will be used for those shots where you weren't expecting it. And real quick, pull it out, get the shot back in, and use that quick footage in your video. This is for me. GoPro again had its own world and own job. These are the two that really confuse me. There's no getting over that this is better quality footage than this. Full frame, 1-inch sensor. The question that I originally had was, could this make me sell this camera, this lens, everything on here, and the gimbal, and just use this for walking, talking shots, stable footage shots, landscape shots, tracking shots, all the stuff you may want to do with this camera here. And it's close. It's close. This does a better job with skin tone, face, clarity than this guy can. Everything else, they kind of match up and kind of can play with each other. I'm filming on the A7 IV, and that's my photography camera, and this was my videography camera. And at times they kind of blend together for both, but that was the main purpose for those two. And then I had the GoPro for the water and my iPhone for everything else throughout the day. And along came the Pocket 3. So where does this fit in to this setup? Ease of use. That's all it is. When I don't have this with me and I want to get a certain look, a shot, a panning time lapse, then this guy here. This is a vacation camera. This is a work camera. And for me, that ends it right there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll come back again. And we'll probably do a review later on of the tracking feature on this one versus the auto framing feature on this one. This is when you set the camera up and then you kind of decide how much you want it to zoom in. And if you're in the frame, it'll track you throughout the frame, or something like this, what it looks like, where it actually moves the frame. Obviously this one should win because it's moving the actual camera, but just if you want to see the difference between the two. Alright, like, subscribe down below, and we'll do some more.